Hello and welcome back to DriveDriverDriven. I'm Humble and we're back again on the Blunicorn rebuild project. Today is going to be a hectic day. Kind of the name of the game is hurry up and dual track or triple track as much of the build as we can at the same time. And that's today. Let me go over some of the projects that we're going to be working on, and I'm going to do my damnedest to try and keep up with everyone and everything that's going on today. So before everyone gets here, let me show you what we'll be working on, and then I'm going to try and just sprint around with the camera later to catch you up on all the updates and progress on each of these projects. So I'm going to be working on the chassis itself. I've got to get these parts painted, just pretty them up a little bit. Now that the wiring is mostly done, and I'm still waiting on parts for the AIM system, what I need to do is actually plumb the AC lines and then finish our front bulkhead. So that's what I'm going to be working on. On our exhaust, another project that'll be happening today is these headers will be coming off of the engine, and we're going to pull the EGT sensors, and these are going to get a wrap and like a header shield put on them. Not only will that quiet down the exhaust a little bit, but it will also further protect and heat shield inside the engine bay. So even though I have this gold foil on all of the tubing, this is a further step to contain the heat in the exhaust because of its proximity here into the chassis. The third project is on all our body work. We're going to have our wheel wells done up with a stone chip to protect the underside of the clamshell. So we'll have to tape these up, but we're going to hit them with like an undercoat type treatment, and then heat shield the center of the rear clamshell, and I'm hoping we can get to that part today. Besides the stone chip, the doors are also going to get the same kind of sound treatment. So this is what we're going to be using. This is a second skin spectrum for noise and heat. What we're going to do is apply this to the inside of the doors, the underside of our clamshells to protect against stone chip. And then we're also going to apply it to the underside of our side pods to also protect them from stone chip. And so we're going to have to get all the bodywork taped up and prepped for that. And then if we have time to get to it, I'm going to pull the engine and finish the engine assembly, which is to get our serpentine belt put on, get our clutch installed, tighten up our front pulley, our front crank pulley while everything's out, and then pull the oil pan off, install our windage tray, and then put everything back together, and then that will be the sort of last step for the engine, and it'll be ready to be installed for the last time. And the goal here is to get basically the car ready to accept body work by the end of the weekend. It's Saturday today, early morning. It's going to be a full day today, so let's get cracking and see where we end up. So as happens when we got a bunch of people over here helping, I end up managing more than actually working. I managed to get a couple things done, so let me show you what I did, and then I'll show you what everyone else did. So I've got the steering all hooked up now. I put some paint on our parts that were welded up again by Phil. Thanks again, dude. He knocked these out basically in very fast order. I think overnight or even same day. So if you need any work done, feel free to hit him up on Instagram at Spool and Phil if you happen to be in the Bay Area. So I got some paint put on them. They look a little bit nicer now than in the car. I still got to refinish the wheel, but again, the depth, everything looks nice. Everything lines up like it should. The power steering makes actually a sizable difference. If I just turn the key on. So this is the system is on right now, but this is at 0 assist. If I wind it all the way up, like you could feel just how much extra assistance it's giving you. And I can't wait to actually get this on the ground with the wheels on, because it's just so effortless. And that's really what the car needed, especially on track, to help reduce fatigue. So besides our power steering, getting that all hooked up and finalized, I started working on our AC system. So kicked the radiator out, got everything exposed here. I finished the wiring for the horn, so now it works because it's actually grounded. On this side, I need to do our AC lines, and I have to change some fittings out. So this is a number 8 fitting, this guy here, and the 45 is just going to put it pretty much into the wall. So this actually needs to be a 90 and then come down, and this is a 45 and it can meet it, and that'll work out just fine. On this side, this is a 45 on our high side. I believe this is a number 10 for the low side of the evaporator, and I don't have the correct fitting here. On our pump, likewise, on number 10 fitting, I don't have the right one here. So I'll have to order both of those. Our receiver dryer is ready to go, and I have our high side pump side. This is our number 8 that goes to the top of the condenser. That one's ready to go. That'll just feed the line down over that way. So I've got to order a couple fittings. The line I have, I just didn't have the right kinds of fittings for the right locations. So I've made some notes and we'll get those ordered. As you can see, cleaned up kind of some of my mess from all the wiring. I've just moved it right there. I've unpackaged our beautiful side skirts. These are the carbon side skirts from Ultima. Again, unbelievable carbon work, just beautiful. I pulled these out so that I could start setting these up on the side pods and getting all the holes and everything drilled as necessary. You saw Kuyper in the time lapse putting undercoat on the nose, on the rear, on our side bins, on our engine flooring. He put on some pretty thick coats. You can see it's still a little wet in this area, and then up in here. I don't know if this is going to set up overnight. It might actually need a few days. So we'll see. It's kind of been in the sun a bit today, but we'll see if that's enough for it to set overnight. Again, some wet areas here and then down in here, but it's a pretty thick coat, and this should do well to protect the fiberglass underneath. These are our floor pans. Again, It's a little wet still in this area, but it should do well to protect the panel, and this will match the bottom of the car underneath. Kuyper also shot the inside of the doors, which you can hear it's basically a dead panel now. It's not going to allow as much sound through as they did previously. I also had him shoot the back of the headlight covers. So mostly, again, this is to help protect the panel from stone chips, because these are just going to get bombarded with rocks on the street and track. And again, we shot the inside, if I can move my shadow, of our luggage bins. And this should help both with looks on the inside and noise coming through our luggage bins. So despite the looks of it, I just want to give another shout out to Second Skin on the Spectrum. This is what I'm using for an undercoat and sound absorption and sort of a rock chip abatement to protect the fiberglass. It went on super easy. We had basically this little compressor going all day, and that was more than enough to shoot all these parts. Again, like the finish out of the gun is really, really good. And once we pull all the masking off, it leaves a nice dark finish behind, which should match the black paint that we hit it with before. So yeah, Second Skin Spectrum, good stuff. In the shade of the gazebo, Sean and Doe worked on wrapping the exhaust. So these are the headers now with the DEI exhaust wrap. This is not the fiberglass one. This is the lava one, or lava rock or whatever. And these are all set now to receive the last bit of heat shielding, which will go around this even further. And that'll be the full heat containment for all of the exhaust. But they did an awesome job getting these all wrapped up, so I'm hoping that with all this containment here, that it'll help abate all of the heat issues I had in the engine bay. I think that's going to do it this time around. I know that's recap, but just going over several projects that we had kind of all going on at the same time. And again, it's sort of hard to go in depth on everything with so many people working on so many things at the same time. For now, I'll call it a day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.